Multi-state hiring has become commonplace in businesses these days as folks look for talent across the country to fill open positions in their businesses. But before you make that offer, before you jump in feet first, there's a couple things that you need to know about the implications of multi-state hiring to your business. The first is the registrations. Now, of course, an employee is going to require payroll. So the common thing is to go and register as an employer and get set up with the Department of Revenue as a payroll provider. But many states have different definitions of doing business in that state. It might be based on sales, it might be based on physical nexus, it might be based on being an employer, and it might be based on all of them. So you need to understand not only setting yourself up as an employer in that state, but you may also be required to be a foreign presence, a foreign entity registered in that state. And there are many other steps that go along with that. In addition, there may be needs for local, county, or specialty licenses based on the business and the location where you're operating. So these are things to really keep in mind as you begin to step into multi-state hiring and really know what each state requires before you make that offer so you have enough time to plan and get oriented and get all the pieces put in place. The second component is wage and hour or labor and employment laws. Every state has different rules on how employees are protected and treated within that state. So you may have an employee handbook that governs how you do workers' comp, how you do leave, how you do payroll within your own company, but different states may have different rules. If you have employees in 10 states, you may actually have 10 different rules that you need to manage against. For example, Ohio requires payroll to be done twice a month, whereas Washington only requires once. You also have very different leave laws that occur in each state. Some states require you to offer sick leave. Some states require that you pay out leave upon termination. These are really important distinctions that could get you into trouble if you haven't thought through how they apply to your workforce. As you expand into multiple states, it's important to think about how you're going to implement those rules. Sometimes people want to go down the path of the least common denominator and just roll that out across the country, but that can get pretty complicated as well. An alternative would be to have a separate addendum for each state that outlines the unique elements of operating in that state. Either way, you want to make sure that you're updating these very regularly. Labor laws change, and the more states you get into, the more complex it will be, and the more frequently you'll see changes that you'll need to incorporate into your manual and into your policies. Most important for both of these areas is to ensure that you have good resources to refer to and reflect on as you are moving forward in your business. Getting updates regularly, checking regularly, auditing regularly, all the things that you're doing so that you can be confident that every single employee is being treated right and your business has mitigated all of the risks of being a multi-state employer.